Hello, I'm Corey Ryan. Welcome to the KHGN studio. Today I'm here with former Harlingen High School graduate, Rachel Elizondo Mclish. How are you doing today, Rachel?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much.
So can you just tell the audience what you're doing back in Harlingen? You're from California. You're living in California right now. So what brings you back into South Texas?
Family always brings me back, and my love for Harlingen. I was born and raised here, and I just love coming back home. Even though I've lived in LA and the California area for over half my life, it'll never be home. Believe me, Harlingen is a wonderful place to have been raised in.
So, I mean, you mentioned that you were living in LA. Can you just tell our viewers a little bit about what you've been doing since you graduated from Harlingen High School?
Okay, you're talking a lifetime here.
I know.
Do you know how old I am? Okay, let's start from the beginning.
Let's start
when
from
I
the beginning.
When I graduated from Harlingen High School, go Cardinals, I went to UTPA.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was attending college, I got a part-time job at a health club because I couldn't afford the membership, to stay in shape. Having been a cheerleader, I was always exercising and staying in wonderful condition. And when I went to college, I didn't gain the freshman 15 pounds, but I missed being fit and physically active. So I went to a health club, and I was totally intimidated by the atmosphere. So I circled around. Finally, I got the nerve to go in, and I loved the atmosphere. I just knew that's what I wanted to do with my life, so I applied for a job there, started working immediately, and the rest is history.
So that's where you got your start in fitness, and then you started entering competitions, right?
The reason I entered my very first competition was because there was a health club here before your time called the Sport Palace Association.
Okay.
When I graduated from UTPA, the owner of that health club where I was working at, and I formed a partnership, and we built it from the ground up here. We had over 1,000 members, and it was a huge success. We were going to expand to Brownsville and Corpus Christi, and during that time, they were going to have the very first ever bodybuilding competition. And I thought, what a great way to publicize the health club. So I entered, went to Atlantic City all by myself, and I won the thing.
Wow, that seems like a very interesting way to get involved in a sport. You said you were telling me before we went on camera that it was new, right? Bodybuilding was like a new thing, especially for women at that time?
It was totally non-existent as a sport. Men's bodybuilding was always around, with Arnold having, enjoyed his popularity and all that. And the women were beginning to work out, and they were calling it this new way to work out. And I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, this is what we've been doing here in South Texas for the past few years, ever since I was in college. And besides, I was very observant, and I thought, you're doing it all wrong. This is the way it should be done. Mind you, I graduated with a degree in, health and fitness, so I knew about, because I went to college, I knew about nutrition and exercise physiology and all of the above. So to me, it was just handed to me on a silver platter. It's like, this is what I've been waiting for. It was quite exciting to enter and to win. And when I won, it was just exciting because my picture was plastered on the front page of newspapers all over the world.
Yeah.
United Press International was there, Associated Press was there, camera crews from Japan, Sweden, they were all there.
Yeah.
They wanted to see this freaky new, this activity that women were doing. So it was a wonderful opportunity.
You mentioned it was it was considered a new way of working out. What specifically was the kind of programming for that?
You're talking about the late 70s, 1980. 1980 was when I won the very first Miss Olympia and the first World Championship. So women were not lifting weights. People were just, stunned that women would want to build muscles, but my big mission was to educate women about their body so that they could work out to get firm and be healthy and get stronger, not necessarily to build big muscles. I just wanted for women to understand and know that they could get in wonderful shape and have total control over their body and not really be subjected to their genetics or their lifestyle necessarily.
So it was kind of an empowerment movement. Would you say that?
Very well said.
Yeah. So you kind of used that to, did you kind of use bodybuilding to jumpstart the rest of your career, right? And you went into Hollywood. Can you tell us what that was about?
Well, I think you've noticed people who get any kind of notoriety, that's their 15 minutes of fame, and offers come in. So yes, I was offered various roles, And at least I had presence of mind enough to reject most of them. But I also got lucky because I got offered a starring role opposite an Academy Award actor, Lou Gossett Jr. So that was really exciting. You have to be very particular, but my passion really was in fitness, so I devoted my time and my energy to writing and giving seminars, educating women, like you said, to empower them about their own body and their lifestyle. I was very interested in nutrition, and I still am. We learned every day just new nutrients and new things about our body, and as we age, we have to make the adjustments. So to me, it's a very exciting challenge to really embrace.
At what point in your career did you start? When did you write your first book, and when did you start going on the seminar circuit?
My first book was written in 1986, I believe. It was called Flex Appeal by Rachel, and it made the New York Times bestseller list. So I was excited about that. So when that happens, you go on the book tour, and you get offered speaking engagements. So I did that for a few years, and then a few years later, I wrote my second book. It was called Perfect Parts, and it enjoyed the same success. So that's what I did for a long time.
Are these more technical kinds of books where you're technically going in the technicalities with nutrition and different kinds of workouts, or was there other themes to them? Could you describe what kind of books that they were?
The first book was called Flex Appeal, and it was more of a how-to 101 about weight training. It takes you from beginning bodybuilding and weight training all the way to advanced level competition. And I'm proud to say that they used that book as a training manual for the female cadets at West Point. So I went up there and gave a seminar to the cadets, and that was quite exciting. So that was very detailed. That was a detailed book. The second book, called Perfect Parts, was more of a simplified version of the first book. Every chapter was a different body part, and the tagline was get in shape 10 minutes a day or something like that. I mean, per body part. I mean, how many body parts do we have? Lots of them, but if you train properly, smartly, and effectively, it's really no big deal to stay in really, really good shape. You just have to be consistent.
Yeah. And now you're working on a third book, I understand, correct?
Yes, I am.
Could you tell us just a little bit about what that book's going to be about and what readers can expect from it?
My third book will be called TLC, Tighter and Leaner to the Core. Tighter is all about working out. Leaner is about dietary responsibility. And core, the core part is my spin on character building and your inner core, not necessarily core fitness or midsection exercises, because I think it's just so important to, as you grow, I guess it just comes from maturity, to develop your whole person, your whole self. You can't just be a gorgeous, hot-looking guy or girl and just be devoid of any values or any kind of civic responsibility. So the core is about building your inner character. So I'm excited about that. It's a little different, but I'm very passionate about that.
So we've talked a lot about where you've been since high school. What about high school? What kinds of things were you involved in? What are your fondest memories of your time at Harlingen High School?
I loved high school. I'm one of those people that I loved Harlingen High School, and I was involved in cheerleading, of course. There weren't that many activities that girls could get involved in, so I was a cheerleader, and I totally embraced that, everything about it. And I remember the hallways. I even have dreams to this day about, the hallways and the wind just whipping you around the corner during the winter time. I remember my teachers, my classes, and the pep rallies, everything. I just have great memories of high school.
When you see high schoolers these days, you mentioned that there weren't that many opportunities for girls when you were in high school?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't have children, but I know my younger sister, she is carting this one to that practice. And I mean, there are so many activities to be involved in. There's soccer and sports and track and swimming, all kinds of things. So I'm just wondering what I could have excelled in if the opportunities were there.
Yeah.
Besides bodybuilding.
What kind of message or what kind of lifestyle does that give young women these days, do you think? Being able to be a part of so many different activities.
Well, I think it's wonderful that there are so many activities and opportunities for young girls to pick and choose, to see where their interests lay or where their talent is. But I think it's just fantastic that there are so many opportunities for people, and it just goes to show that with a little bit of effort and commitment, you can do just about anything.
So could you just talk about a little bit more about what you were in a couple other movies, correct? Other than the first one was Iron Eagle 3?
No, my first movie was Pumping Iron to the Women.
Oh, okay.
And that was more of a docudrama, and that was quite an experience, and it got a lot of notoriety. Went to the Cannes Film Festival,
Okay.
did the whole red carpet thing, so I had my Cannes Film Festival experience, which was wonderful fun. And the second movie, it was a real movie, it was called Aces Iron Eagle 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really fun.
And they actually brought a premiere to Harlingen for that movie?
Yes, yes. Carolco was the studio at the time, TriStar in Carolco, and my husband, Ron Samuels, was the producer.
Okay.
So he just kind of pulled a few strings and organized the, well, he didn't organize it. My brother-in-law, Nat Lopez, and Jack Bogus
Okay.
organized this wonderful premiere in Harlingen.
Mm-hmm.
So the high school jazz band provided the music, and we had catering. It was a huge party, and it was just fantastic. It really, really was a lot of fun.
Sounds great. Now that you're back, I was just wondering if you had a message for high schoolers or students now, people from Harlingen that have big dreams like you, since you came with a big dream and you went and accomplished that. So I was wondering if you had just a general message for our students.
I do. The message I have for any person, any young student who has a dream, is to pursue it. Pursue it, be passionate about it, and just go for it. Develop discipline and commit to it, because without the commitment, without deciding to do it, you won't get there. So decide to do it, be patient, do the work, and you'll get there. Good luck.
Well, Rachel, thanks for stopping by our studio today.
It was my pleasure, Corey.
That's all we have for today. I'm Corey Ryan. Be sure to visit our new KHGN website, where you will find this and other online videos.